What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Wow, they might hear you, Cloud. I don't know. I'm gonna put you up on my phone. He just said exactly like that. Yep. So I am live on YouTube and Twitch. So you guys have those options. Ooh, apparently I got 2 people watching me on Twitch. Now 3 because of my other account. But anyway. Why can't I hear? Wow. What's up, Titanium? How you doing? Oh, and he's on Twitch as well. Thank you, my guy. That was so fun. Really fun last night. I think I could finally do that. Hold up. Something is wrong. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. All right, hold up. Hold up. Damn it. Oh no, you're gonna get killed, Cloud. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't let them kill you. Your shotgun?
So it's Crimson Team Jolie, or is it Team Arthur Pugan?
Oh, I'm Joel. I'm Joel. Definitely. There's no other. What the duck? Technical difficulties. Here we go. Why? 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 Okay. It popped on for a second, and then it was like, no, you can't go. What the fuck? I have no idea what's going on. All right, we're just gonna have to do this like this again. Yay. We'll just have to do it like this. The combo. The combo. Let's hope that this freaking. There we go. There we go. Misa did it.
Yeah, I've got an interesting question for you.
For me.
Really?
Really?
I'm going to tell you 3 games.
Okay.
And one game you can only play once.
Okay.
One game you can consistently play indefinitely forever.
Okay.
And one game you are not allowed to play.
Okay.
Lego Batman 4.
Oh.
Injustice 3.
Okay.
And a new Arkham game.
All right. I'd probably
play once, play forever, never play.
All right. Never play. I'll do Injustice 3.
Never play Injustice 3?
Yep.
Okay.
That one's an easy one. Lego Batman 4, I'll play once, and then the Arkham game, I'll play indefinitely.
I thought you was gonna do Injustice and Lego Batman the other way around. I knew that you were gonna
Really?
play forever. I thought you was more of a Injustice guy than a Lego Batman guy.
Well, actually, it
So
kind of
I thought
depends.
I thought you was gonna say Injustice 3 because I thought you would be more interested in Injustice 3 than something like Lego Batman 4. Because Lego Batman 4 can mean anything, right? That could be like another Justice League like game, other than
Right.
with Justice 3, you kind of know what you get.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, without Kevin, I don't know how Injustice 3 would be, you know? So, and on top of that, especially if they're going to reboot it, like, I don't know. Not for me. I don't think. I mean, I'll play it once, but just for the game, I'll say I won't ever play it.
More context, maybe this would change your answer.
Okay, yeah, give me context of each game, because it really just depends.
It's a true story with
Okay.
Batman and Robin
Okay.
that gives you the vibes of Lego Batman 1, but with more mechanics.
Okay.
So be able to have two-player online co-op.
Ooh. Okay, that's Lego Batman. Okay.
Injustice 3 is a sequel to Injustice 2, and it takes canon of the Superman ending. It
Okay.
brings back obviously all the mechanics, you know, the base roster, and then obviously DLC is DLC.
Right.
So that's Injustice 3. Arkham is also a sequel game that takes place after Suicide Squad.
Okay.
This is what's going to change your answer. It takes place 10 to 15 years after, and it's in the Batman Beyond.
Oh, you're killing me.
It brings back the free flow combat, everything that we remember is just in the story of Batman Beyond.
You're killing me, Small.
Does your answer remain the same?
All right, one question. Is Bruce Wayne in the game at all?
Here's a question. Answer that. Answer that.
Okay.
The prologue mission, you play as Bruce Wayne Batman.
Nice.
And in the prologue, he realizes that he's too old to play Batman, and he's forced to pull, like in the show, he is forced to pull a gun on a criminal because he realizes he's too slow and too old to be Batman. So then he realizes he has to retire and find a successor.
Okay.
That's your opening to the Batman Beyond game. It's with Bruce Wayne Batman.
It's obviously Terry McGinnis, right?
And it'll put Terry McGinnis.
Okay.
Whoever thought Damon Wayne was going to do?
He just goes, shut up. He just goes, shut up. Well, why do you think it was canceled? It's a bad idea. But no, anyway,
But yeah, you start off the very first mission as Bruce Wayne Batman, but for the rest of the game and for open free roam, you are Terry McGinnis Bruce Wayne. You're Terry McGinnis Batman.
Okay.
You start off the game as Bruce Wayne to give context as to why you're not playing as Bruce Wayne anymore.
Okay. One more question for Lego Batman 4.
Yes.
You said it was just like Lego Batman 1. What do you, can you, like, explain that?
It gives you the true experience and vibe of a Batman and Robin story with classic villains.
Will it have all the villains it had in Lego Batman 1? Plus maybe more?
It will have most of them, and even
Okay.
It will be a true story of trying to stop the villains as Batman and Robin. You will have certain cameos of superheroes.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Or were they going to be playable, or are they just...
They'll be playable in open world.
Okay, so there is open world.
They won't have much influence on the story.
So basically, the story is going to be Lego Batman 1-ish, or
It's
like...
Lego Batman 2, where the most part is Lego Batman.
Right.
It's just a Batman story.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay.
Yeah. Types that are similar to previous games. Obviously, there'll be more missions, that are newer to reflect the new mechanics.
Right.
But for the most part, in terms of story, it's more going back to roots
Okay.
of the classic Batman story. And it'll be the first Lego Batman, or the first Lego game to allow online co-op. So you can play your story save with another person, rather than it just being stuck with couch co-op.
Okay.
That's your idea of what Lego Batman 4 is.
Okay. All right. I hope this doesn't disappoint you, but I think my answers are definitely the same for all of them. Especially now that I know, like, just for the game's, perspective, I would never play Injustice 3. I would play Lego Batman 1 once, and then the Arkham game I would play indefinitely, like as many times as I want. But the difference is, in real life, I would actually play Lego Batman 4 as much time as I can. I'd still play the Arkham Beyond game as much as I can, and I'd probably play Injustice 3 at the very least once for the story. He's disappointed. He's disappointed, guys.
I actually.
Yeah, see, now it's hard to answer your question.
See, in theory, because obviously when you're Bruce Wayne veteran, so you would want to play the classic story more than Batman Beyond, because you have more of an attachment to Bruce Wayne's story. So you would want to play the Batman game. I would probably still play the Arkham game the most, because I enjoy the gameplay the most.
Right.
I feel like first I would play the Lego Batman game more, but in long term, I think I'll end up playing Injustice 3 more.
Wow, that's surprising.
I just see Injustice having more content and lasting longer.
That's what she said.
It's online.
he's just like, I can't argue with that one. No, see,
That was an interesting question.
it was an interesting question. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Like, if Lego Batman 4 brought free flow
Next year.
focus into a Lego game, that might be the one. Like, then Arkham and the Lego Batman might switch for the game's perspective, anyway.
And here's another thing. Gameplay-wise, it will borrow some stuff from the Skywalker saga in terms of game, where you have attacks and stuff like that, so you can kind of like build a combo rather than just smashing the square button and just kind of.
I mean, that would make it better.
Kind of a combo.
That's
And you have a kind of like an Arkham. You have a gadget with
oh, stop it! Take a day off me.
like how you aim and shoot in the Skywalker games, you aim and throw with Batman, and you'll be able to do kind of like mini Lego Riddler challenges where you have to like throw stuff, and pull stuff. Basically, I'd say something like Arkham Cities / Arkham Knights in Lego form.
Oh, man. Do I have to answer?
Sometimes be more.
You know what?
Sometimes it's more. Because you can fly around the
Oh,
so you get
stop
the bat
it.
bike.
Stop it. Stop. Stop. Just stop. You know what? Because I can, I have my answer. I have my answer. I have my answer already. I'm going to say the Arkham and Lego Batman 4 are on par. I can't choose. I'll play them both indefinitely. He's like, touche.
I don't think what might entice you to Injustice 3 will bring back RPG elements where you choose your story.
I kind of wish a game like that wouldn't do that. So I definitely never play that. Like, that was the weakest part. Like, okay, I'm okay with, like, choosing who you fight.
It gave you the choice of, like, would you be Catwoman, Harley Quinn?
Yeah, I'm okay with that part. Yeah, I'm okay with that part. I'm just not okay with choosing endings and all. It needs to be one clear ending. It does, but but that's what made the first Injustice so much better as far as story goes anyway. Now, gameplay, graphics, and even, you know, I mean, okay, I'm not going to lie. Injustice 2 story I did like a lot more than the first one, even though the first one was really good. Uh I enjoyed personally the second one even more. I just like the idea of I just didn't like the choices that they give you, if that makes sense.
I prefer the story of Injustice 2 a bit more, but I prefer the character roster of the first game.
Uh
Because they removed dead shots. They removed, you know, instead of Dick Grayson Nightwing, we had Damon Wayne Robin.
right.
I mean, we had some other stuff. I mean, we had the Sinestro, Grundy.
I'm not gonna lie, I was okay with them taking out Grundy. Uh
I mean, who was Grundy's replacement? Like Atrocitus?
I'd say
Oh,
it's
no, that'll be
Atrocitus.
Sinestro that got replaced by the Lantern.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it would be Sinestro. Who did replace Let's see, Bane came back, so that's not Bane.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah, it's probably Swamp Thing.
Um, I also would say the maps in Injustice 1 were a bit cooler.
Some of them were. Some of them I didn't mind in the second.
Like you would fight in Wayne Manor, or like you remember the Arkham Asylum transitions, like arena transitions, where
Yep.
it's literally from the Arkham games.
Yep, I love
Like,
that.
that kind of stuff you don't get in the second game. I mean, you got like what? Metropolis.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Doesn't that almost confirm that the Injustice and Arkham series are like... Well, no, that probably... What? I don't know.
I think it was just meant to be a fun like reference rather than like
Probably.
actually having any canonical association to each other.
Makes no sense, but hey.
It would be cool if they built upon that. Like, oh, remember that? It's they you know putting the multiverse together.
Oh, son of a bitch. I still can't go here. Okay. It is okay. I blame ya, homie. Right, Cloud?
Yep.
See, he'll go along with anything I say. That's the funny part. You'd be like, yep. I don't know what you said, but yep.
No, it's just the truth. I don't even know what you said, but it's true.
Oh, it's your homie's fault.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
There we go. I never steer you wrong.
It's a question.
Oh, no.
So, you get to choose one game that you would take. And both, and it's going to be 3 games, and they're all going to be directed individually by me, your homie, and Frozen.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the context. Whose game would you take?
Okay.
I rank them in order of like most excited, least excited.
Okay.
Frozen would give you a
Okay. Give me the backstory of what the story's gonna be.
well, Frozen's gonna be like it's more of an interpretation. You know Frozen.
Oh gosh. Oh no. He would put Starfire in the game. He would put the Teen Titans in there.
Exactly.
No.
Because he's the director. It's his vision.
No. 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 Stop it.
Your homie. A fun.
You dirty monster. You're a monster. I want you to know that, Cloud.
You give it a flash game. I
He doesn't even know what Flash is. Like,
give you a world's finest game.
oh, Batman and Superman game? Oh. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Picture what the game could be, like in terms of concept. Picture what it could be based off of who is directing it.
Okay.
Like,
I'm gonna say something, and it's gonna sound harsh, but let me explain. Okay? I'm not looking forward to any of those games. I'm not gonna lie. However, I do truly feel like your game would probably be the best out of all of those 3. Like, because you would not. Wait a minute. Hold up. Cloud, since you are making this game, I just have to ask you a question. You can't answer this. Would you have it to where I could play as any of the heroes at any time, and so technically I could play as the whole game as Batman, and it's an open world?
Shadows. There'll be a fully dedicated individual run if you want to choose to be said character. There'll be a canon bounce to who you. So he will invite you to be said character, but you're not obligated to be said character.
Okay. Well, then you know what? That makes me feel a little better.
It'll be open world.
Okay, so there's free roam. It's gonna be just like Arkham, basically. Side missions, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's a problem. I'm just saying it just to spice things up a bit. I'm not allowed to use free flow.
You're not allowed?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Even for Batman. Even for Batman.
Yeah. It's in a separate, you know, it's separate.
Okay, hold on. Will the gameplay or the combat be like Gotham Knights or even the Insomniac Spider-Man?
It will be somewhat beat 'em up.
Okay, I'm okay with that then. Yeah, your game would definitely be the best then. Yours is my top one.
I will kind of what Frozen's would be.
I already know what his will be. You don't need to theorize. We're good.
His would be a. Mine would be single player. Mine would be single player.
Right, yours is single player.
Frozen's would be multiplayer.
Odd.
It will have DLC content. It will release both Justice League and Teen Titans members as
Oh,
post-launch
stop
characters.
it. Stop. So then that's not a Bat Family game. That's just turning into a Justice League game. In a way.
In a way, yes.
No. 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 Then it's not a Bat Family game. What's the title?
What's the name of it?
Yeah.
It's called
Shower Buddy.
Yeah.
I think they picked up that first word. I hope not.
So it's more level gated. If you ever played like a God of War game,
Oh, stop it.
it'll be like that, where
Stop
it's not
it.
open world, but you can't go everywhere. It will have
So basically just like the
mechanics.
Jedi Fallen Order games.
It will have free flow.
Oh. But wait, you said semi-open world?
It'll be semi-open world. So if you ever played any of the newer God of War games,
What about if it was just like the Jedi Survivor games or Jedi Fallen Order?
yeah, it's kind of like that, where you
Okay, I'm okay with that then.
it's level gated.
Oh no! Stop
You
it!
ain't got like a proper like city to explore.
Stop it.
That's basically what you're dealing with.
Well, yeah, instantly yours is gonna be the best.
Free flow combat with obviously flash powers. You get to fight
I would hope so.
different speedsters, you know, for the boss fights. Like reverse flash, zoom,
Salvatore?
Scimitar.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it gonna be based off of the CW Flash?
no, it'll be its own
Oh
canon.
no!
It'll be more inspired
No.
from the comics.
All right, I have my answer. It's yours, your homies, then Frozen's. It like
So,
there we go.
Just a reminder. Brotherhood will be an online multiplayer game that is centered around the Bat family, like Gotham Knights. You will actually be able, it'll be like Guardians of the Galaxy, where you actually have the Bat family assisting you in the missions. It's not like a singular Bat family members game. It's an actual Bat family game that is 4-player co-op. We can all play together. And post-launch, it will bring some of the Justice League members and some of the Teen Titans.
Stop it. Get some help.
Post-launch.
Oh no. Oh no. Did you hear me? Okay, good.
If Homies would be a semi-open world Flash game.
Oh, my mic is picking you up, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Homies would be a semi-open Flash game that brings back the free flow combat.
Right.
And mine would be the world's finest game that has beam-up mechanics.
No, I already told you. Your game would be first, your homies would be second, Frozen's would be last. And now Frozen's would be like, what do you mean I'm last? Have to be in the party to understand.
Asking what
No, 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 no. And you know why. I can't say it. Well, actually, there's two reasons why, and I can't say any of them. One of them is very obvious. Hi, Frozen. Oh, he's got ads. Okay. He's got ads. That means he can't hear us for right now.
So,
Wait, how did he know I was doing a Fortnite stream? Because I didn't say... Did I say anything yesterday? I might have said something yesterday.
he said something yesterday, or you to work?
My Fortnite stream will be. Oh God, I am getting attacked, and I didn't realize. Let me fight, you assholes! It'll be probably around 5 o'clock my time. Mm. 5 o'clock my time, but I'm gonna do my TikTok stream a little before then, and I also gotta go to the mall today, so I got a busy day, so it's really whenever. Trying to decide if I should do my TikTok stream and then go to the mall, or should I go to the mall and then come do my TikTok stream? And it will be over on Twitch, Rumble, and Kick. That's where I'll be doing my Fortnite streams today.
I've got another question.
You got another question? Oh God.
Alright, it's the same premise, but it's the three of us.
No. Why can't I have a game? Wait a minute.
Because I'm asking you.
Okay.
Oh, Crimson, would you pick everyone's game or the one you be making?
Well, it depends on what game you give me.
Yeah. So it's the game. It's the
All
same
right.
again. The three of us are directing a Batman game now.
Wait, the three of you guys are in charge of a Batman game. Oh God. Well, at least you're involved. That means it's some hope anyway.
I'll tell you which one we're making. Okay.
Frozen, I can't afford to get it. I have to save my money, man. The only thing I'm buying is new games. Whenever new good games come out, actually. But no, I'm not getting the Battle Pass.
Yeah, your homie give you an Arkham Knight sequel.
Your homie's giving me an Arkham Knight sequel. Are you involved in it at all?
No, we're all doing individual games. We have no responsibility for any of those games.
No. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't afford it, Frozen. So I will not be getting it.
An Arkham Knight sequel.
Okay, your homie's doing an Arkham Knight sequel. Okay. Will he actually make a? Is it based off of him, how he is like last time, or is he gonna have some kind of like influence on Arkham Knight?
It's gonna be somewhat relevant to the art. It's gonna obviously have explanations and pick up
Okay.
the Arkham Knight story, but the actual main story itself is of your homie's vision.
Okay.
Or what he would like for Batman's story to be canon. Frozen will give you something a bit more goofy that kind of reminds you of Brave and the Bold.
Wait, Frozen's giving me a game that's inspired by the Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold.
That's not too bad. Okay.
Brave and the Bold Batman.
Okay. Now, what game are you doing? That's the main question.
I will make you a story that mirrors the Dark Knight Returns story.
Ooh.
Where Gordon dies and the cops are against Batman, and Batman's in his like mid to late 50s, early 60s.
That's getting awfully close to a Batman Beyond game, though.
Yeah.
That could lead into a Batman Beyond game.
That's what I said. If we got a Dark Knight Returns story before Batman Beyond game,
Yeah,
work.
that's what they need to do with Arkham. They need to do like a Dark Knight Returns thing, and then do Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end of the Dark Knight Returns, that's when he pulls the gun out, and it lives off on a cliffhanger, and then all of a sudden, Batman Beyond's next. And maybe it could start off with the same mission that you end off on the Dark Knight Returns. Maybe a little different.
Yeah.
Like, when I say different, like maybe like it's the same thing, but different way of doing it, you know? Tear it up, Mom! Good job!
Yeah, what would be your order of preference of what game would you think would be better and or look forward to the most, like I said before?
I'm assuming he means the cartoon. He's asking if you mean the cartoon or off the Brave and the Bold movie.
Show.
Right, the show. Okay, that's what I thought, and I said that wasn't that bad. Oh, wait, what'd you call him?
Hammer of Justice.
The Hammer of Justice. Okay, I'd probably look forward to your game would probably still be number 1 for me, and then this time it'd probably be Frozen's and then Yahomi's because I don't trust Yahomi. I just don't.
So yeah, Yahomi would just do an actual canon story to Arkham. Frozen would give you a new universe that is inspired by the Brave and the Bold show.
Okay.
And I would also give you one in a new universe that is inspired by the Dark Knight Returns story.
Frozen, do you want to be part of this conversation? Well, I figured Yahomi's would. I mean, that would make sense. I think I asked you... Free roam? Side missions?
Yes.
I can... You know what? I don't even think that's PG. I'm thinking about Yahomi's game. I don't think that's going to be PG. You see what I did there? I don't even know if that's PG. Man.
Okay, how about this?
Oh no. No, you know what? I have a question for you. Me, Frozen, and Yahomi are making a game. I'm giving you a sequel to Arkham Knight, but a prequel to Suicide Squad. Frozen's giving you... I was going to say something else. Frozen's giving you a Batman Beyond game that is not in Arkham. Right. But it's inspired by whatever he wants to do. And same thing with me. And then Yahomi is making a Blue Beetle game. I did. I can't. Well, the only reason why I said a Blue Beetle game is because Frozen said that he would love a Blue Beetle game. Or he says that he thinks that we need a Blue Beetle game.
Frozen's would be a couple notches behind you because it's Batman Beyond, and then yours would be number 1.
Oh.
Easy.
Oh, okay. Well, let me make it a little hard for you. Let me change it up a little bit. Okay, I'm giving you a sequel. I'm giving you a sequel to Arkham Shadows. Yeah, so we're going prequel route. Frozen's giving you a Starfire game. And Yahomi is giving you an Arkham Knight sequel.
Okay. Like I answered what you asked me about my game, what would you take for the sequel of Shadows?
I'm gonna basically kind of just build off of the prequel stuff, but maybe make it a little better, with some of its continuity errors.
They were setting up the combatant family like you won the Robin.
They were. So keep that in mind. I'm not gonna confirm that's what I'm doing, but I'm not gonna deny it either. If I would definitely make it online co-op. It will be a console game, obviously.
Yeah. Console.
Frozen, He's making a Starfire game. It's all up to him. You know, you gotta talk to him.
Just Frozen chat, can I ask him what his vision be for a Starfire game?
That's awful. That's like having J.J. Abrams direct a Marvel movie. Your homie couldn't do that. Out of any one in the Teen Titans, Starfire and Robin would be the best games.
Frozen's will be dead last because Starfire is just like boring. I'll only buy that just so I can stare at things.
Oh, it's rated M, and she's fully customizable. That's one stipulation in his game. But that does not mean that she'll be naked.
That's boring.
You gotta remember, this is Frozen. He don't believe in that bullshit, which he's not normal.
Sequel or a somewhat prequel arc game.
Exactly.
That'll be my order. I'd say you remain number one because I actually want a prequel story. Arkham.
Obviously, Roger Craig Smith is in it. You gotta have him.
Yeah.
Oh, and your homie's getting Roger Craig Smith for his too.
That'll be interesting. Yeah. So it'll be yours, your homies, and Frozen's.
Right. Okay, last one, and then I'll let you do yours again.
Yeah.
Frozen is making a Arkham Batman Beyond game. Arkham Batman Beyond. That's right. I'm making you a Arkham Bat Family game. Not gonna say which time frame it brings you. And then your homie is doing an Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Origins remake, all in one collection. Yes, you do. And just backstory for mine, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. It's going to have the Arkham Knight gameplay. It's going to be Arkham Knight gameplay. But it's going to... What? Oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And it's going to be online co-op, and it's going to have every Bat family member. So keep that in mind. It is going to be an Arkham Knight sequel, so I just confirmed that. It's going to... And here's the thing. You can play as any character at any time. On top of that, with the whole Bat family playable, that's how many players you can have in one lobby. It's gonna have like this thing where kind of like what Gotham Knights did, where you can you join people's story, you know, and then you could choose to continue your own story from their point where you left off with them, or you could do your own thing. But it's not going to be the story of Gotham Knights. It's going to be a sequel to Arkham Knights. And it's going to be, obviously, in the Arkhamverse, full playable Bat family. We're going to have vehicles. Yes, Bat boats, the Bat wing, the Batmobile, Bat cycle. Oh, and we're gonna put every single villain in the game. That's right. Boss battles are going to be epic. We're not going to have tank battles. We might have like a couple, but not that many. We are gonna have a Batwing air battle. I feel like that would be pretty fun. And we're gonna have a Batboat battle, but those are gonna be like side content. There's gonna be races. I feel like that's gotta be fun. He's saying that I would kill the game. That I'm killing the game. Well, he's a fook. He's a fook. He doesn't know what a good game is. Anyway, oh, and then on top of that, we're also going to have DLC. Oh, we're good DLC. It might even lead into Frozen's Batman Beyond game. So I might be connecting it. I don't know yet. It depends on what he chooses to do for his bat. Oh yeah, Batman is the main character, but you don't have to. Like I would probably do what you did with your Bat game, and what they did with Assassin's Creed Shadows is I'll have a canon mode, but you don't have to follow.
So yours is number
I was cooking. King Shark should be the boss if there's. Oh, here we go. I just made the ultimate Bat Arkham game right there.
Okay, so you have yours. I would 110% take a remake of those three Arkham games.
Notice I didn't say Arkham Knight.
I didn't say Arkham Knights, but City and Asylum should need origins. We actually need that on current gen. That would be the hard carry of that collection. Is the
Frozen's dead last. Yeah, he's putting King Shark in his game, apparently. King Shark. King Shark. Bat Cycle. Batmobile. Oh, and skins. There's gonna be different skins. Like it's gonna be the ultimate Batman game. Oh, but wait a minute. I did leave out one thing. The thing is, this game, my game, will be coming out for Batman's 100th anniversary. That's how long you have to wait for it.
Or is it 87?
I think it's 87. I wouldn't put the Bat boat in my game. No, I was saying King Shark should be the boss in your game, in the boat part of your game.
Oh no.
No, he's not a Batman villain. It's gonna be Killer Croc. I could name Solomon Grundy. I could name Killer Croc. I could name technically Penguin. Like, bro, what are you talking about, my guy? Like, take a day off, man. You're a shark. I was just kidding. Oh. Now, wait a minute. Here's the thing, though. Are you still going to put mine at number 1?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I said I had to wait till I'm 100, and I would have still picked it.
Oh, no, I'm not going to make you wait that long. I'm not that mean. Well, you got to think, and a normal game, like Arkham Knight size, would probably be like 5, maybe 6 years in development. But I'm doubling that. Oh, and by the way, the story is going to be at least 50 hours long. With side content that you could do in the story or you could do after the main story. Exactly. I'm cooking, man. I'm cooking. Dude, get me in the table.
13 years. You said that yours is going to take 13 years. What about theirs? When would theirs come out?
Let's act like it's already ready. It could come out this year. But it's gonna be shitty. It's gonna be shitty. Well, I mean, let's face it.
Is remaking good games. That puts me in a safe position. It just really depends on how shit the remake itself is. I know the story.
All right. For context, Yahomi's games are gonna be very similar to the original games, but they're going to be better. Like, he's going to actually do his homework.
Yes.
He might involve me, you know how he is. He may even involve you. Like, we're talking about Yahomi.
Because if you have any association, that's going to bump it up. So I think for the sake of the debate, you should all not have no association.
Well, Frozen doesn't have an association with me. He's not going to involve me. It's his game for a Starfire game. Or no, the Batman Beyond game, my bad. Arkham Batman Beyond. The only thing that would have to work is, since I'm doing a sequel to Arkham Knight, mine would probably hint towards Batman. Like, mine would hint towards him getting old eventually. But it's also a prequel to Suicide Squad, so I have to reference that too. Did you forget about that?
Yeah, most likely your game ends with Superman.
Exactly. And I would make that scene justified though. Like, it's gonna be great. I already see the picture. Superman comes to Batman, and you know what? The Suicide Squad said Batman said absolutely right off the bat. I'm gonna make it to where he says no at first. Maybe that's gonna be part of the story. I don't know yet. I'm cooking though. He says, "Wow, that's a long game. 50-hour long story for Batman." Absolutely.
Let me ask you my question.
All right, what's your question? I have a feeling you're gonna start cooking now.
No, this is kind of mild. This is kind of a mild.
Oh, okay. So,
all with Arkham gameplay, open world, free flow, gadgets. Frozen, make
an
an Arkham Nightwing game.
Arkham Nightwing game.
Yes, set in Bloodhaven.
Okay.
Give you an Arkham Tim Drake Robin.
Okay. Let me guess. You're gonna give me a Red Hood game.
Yes, I will make you an Arkham Red Hood game. Now here's the thing. It's all of our games build upon our corresponding episode that we got in Arkham Knight.
Hmm.
So every single character that has their episode, so Frozen will build upon his Nightwing episode.
Okay.
Your homie will build upon his Robin episode, and I will build upon the Red Hood episode. As a premise, that wouldn't be the main story, but as a premise of what we would be doing in our game.
Stop cooking. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be excited for yours and Frozen's probably equal. Although,
So, Frozen's will be about Nightwing trying to step up. It won't be exactly an heir to the cow story, but he'll be him trying to take responsibility because Batman is technically not around.
right.
So it's him trying to balance things at Bloodhaven and trying to help out in Gotham.
Right.
Homie is also a similar situation where, you know, Robin's in charge of Gotham because obviously his Batman's not around, so he has to take that big responsibility of being the one that takes care of Gotham because Batman's not here anymore, and neither is Alfred. But and he also has to deal with the relationship with Barbara and that stuff.
Terrible.
Mine is going around, and I'm basically putting people
Right.
that need to be put in the ground. Because obviously I'm Red Hood, I'm going after people.
Would Red Hood eventually adapt to the no killing rule?
Yeah, it's the thing. Halfway through the story, he finds out that Bruce is apparently dead. So he honours his no kill rule because of that. So he has a character arc
Okay.
where he at least tries to do it his way. It's like a penance for not doing right by Bruce Wayne when he was still here.
Right.
So in the beginning, he will be killing. He will.
Yes,
be
5 o'clock.
These big bads that need to be put down. Then he finds out that the events of what happened at the end of Arkham Knight. Bruce blowing up his mansion, and him thinking he's dead.
Once again, it'll be on Rumble, Kick, and possibly Twitch. I'm still thinking on that because I'm technically live on Twitch already. I may not. But that's where the Fortnite stream will take place.
Yeah, all of them are so basically all of them are technically a sequel to Arkham Knight and a sequel to their episodes.
Yeah, I definitely I would probably I'd probably do it to where, or I would probably, I would probably, I'm definitely, I know you know what you're doing, so I'm definitely looking forward to your game. Frozen,
Like Traverse or like Gotham Knights. Frozen will have like a Nightwing line kind of thing. Like in Gotham
I'm okay.
Knights.
I was okay with that because he had that in the comics. So a lot of people just like,
Your homie would just bring back the cape from Arkham. So
oh
you
wow,
fly like Batman because he has a cape.
oh wow,
Red Hood, I will give him a motorbike.
that's pretty cool.
So he'll move fast whilst grappling, but if you're on the streets, you have a motorbike to drive around. And they'll all come together into that family game. So they're all
So leading to my game, basically.
Yeah, so all three of our games lead into that family game. Because in each of the games, they all find out in their own perspective that Bruce Wayne is alive. And he brings them back together.
Yes. All right, yeah, your game, then Frozen's, and then your homies.
Here's a question.
Oh God.
I'm not going to tell you what the game is, I'm just telling you that they're making a game based off the character.
Okay.
So even I'm not going to answer what kind of game mine would be. I'm just telling you the character and just purely based off the character.
Okay.
Frozen is giving you a Superman game.
Oh God.
Your homie is going to give you. He's going to give you a Wonder Woman game.
Oh God.
I give you a Green Lantern game.
All suck. Except for Wonder Woman. I would be happy with Wonder Woman, but it's your homie. So, although he'd probably give her some skimpy outfits. So you know what? Yeah, I'll go with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman first. Yeah, and then probably Green Lantern. And then Superman.
Okay. Would you like to hear my vision for what it's going to be?
Yes.
You ever played Hogwarts Legacy?
Yes. Great game.
It'll be like that, but instead of picking your squeak
Bang!
two, you pick what lantern.
Oh. And all Lantern cores are technically available.
Travel the galaxy and you try to, protect your sector against the other lanterns that you have unique abilities based off of which lantern you are.
Right. That actually sounds really cool. You know what? You may have just jumped to the first place.
It will have free roam and cameos.
Cameo. Now you're just what a food. What a food. What the duck? Ooh, is it really like a half hour to 2? Oh man.
My game will also have DLC
Yeah.
focused around the Justice League.
I
And then but then using lantern powers.
I think he's given context to his game. Frozen is. His Starfire game, I think.
So there'll be mine will have a DLC story pack where you get to be Batman and he's using the fear lantern.
Oh, yep. There he goes. There he goes. Cloud, look at what he's saying. If you can.
Is it?
He said that she technically doesn't need a game, but then he was like,
Starfire technically doesn't need a game, but I feel it would be cool if it was a sequel to a new animated show we're getting set in 5-6 years in the future. So she'd be 22 in my game, and it will most likely take place in space and other planets. And the beginning of the game takes place on Earth, and then again at the end. In my game, you will also get to play as Batman, Green Lantern, John Stewart, Jessica Cruz, and Atom. What the fuck is Batman got to do with Starfire? What has he got to do with Starfire?
I think he's trying to make it as cool as possible, like trying to get us
Are you
up.
just trying to appease and make Batman steal the show of the Starfire game? See, why is that Batman DLC? He's using the Fear Lantern Corps, like he did in the comics.
Could he technically be part of the Green Lantern Corps as well?
No, because each character that I choose that a league member will be using, having a unique story based on a Lantern Corps that they chose.
Oh, okay.
Batman I chose because it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes more sense with Fear. I was just wondering if like there could be like a Green Lantern version.
You would get 4 story packs. First will be Batman, and you have the story of Fear with the Yellow Lantern Corps.
Right.
Of him joining the Lantern Corps and see how he kind of reacts and how he is and how different he is when he's on that team. We then have Superman, which will be in the Blue Lanterns Power of Hope.
Right.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Flash, who will be part of the Green Lanterns, because he embodies will and keeps pushing forward.
Right.
And you also have a dynamic unique to the Green Lantern to Hal Jordan, because they're good mates.
Right.
Because they'll be part of that team. And you will go and fight Sinestro in that story. And then finally you have a Wonder Woman story where she'll be part of Compassion.
Isn't that it's purple, right?
Sure, it's purple. Pink's love.
Yeah, Pink's love.
Purple's Compassion.
Okay. So you could technically choose a death and a life for your main story, right?
Yes.
Here's a question. Is your...
Actually, no, you wouldn't be able to pick them.
Why not?
You would get the option towards the end of the story to become one of them.
Oh.
So you would have the option to leave your Lantern Corps to become even more powerful by becoming one of 2 of those lanterns.
I don't know how I feel about that.
You can either stay in your Lantern Corps, or you can have the kind of like a GTA scenario where you get given an option, like an A, B, C or situation.
Stay in your Lantern Corps and then join the life or
Stay
join
in
the
Lantern
death.
Corps, join life or join death.
Which would be the canon ending?
Staying in your...
Okay. That's what I kind of figured. So, like, what do the death, what do they represent and what is the life? Like, what do they get to do as far as powers?
They get to chaotically just destroy anything in its path. To just be overpowered and just destroy anything it sees. It will be much more powerful in cutscenes because obviously those are story beats.
Right.
But in gameplay, you basically out more OP.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter which one you choose. You just become OP.
You will be different
Okay.
in terms of behaviour
Right.
And life, you be basically have more of a protector standpoint. Easier to save everyone.
Right. Okay.
And because you're so powerful, you can stop people. Have that sensation. Basically, think of it as more as it's not light-hearted and one's but both insanely powerful.
Right. Okay. I think I
I didn't
understand.
tell you who the big bad is.
Well, what the duck? See it frozen.
So, this is what entices you to pick one. So you don't send in the it's insanely powerful, you need insanely powerful villain.
Right.
So if you pick White Lantern or Black Lantern, see fight your is Amarillo.
Oh God. What are you trying to do to us?
And if you pick Amarillo's life,
Okay.
that is basically what the story is.
So basically a fook stick. Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And you have evolving mechanics. You can customize, kind of like in Spider-Man 2, you customize your abilities, or like choose what abilities you want, like that. And called
Right.
sets you choose to keep.
Well, obviously, Rage or Red Lanterns, they would do, you know, they're angry. They're more. Would you say they're like not necessarily the most powerful because obviously that's life or death, but would you say they're more powerful than like some of the Lantern Corps?
You want to be more. I respect their rights. They're all equal.
Okay.
Because that essentially is what they are. They all harvest a set of motion. So not. They just have different styles.
What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I have one question. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Oh wow, you got another trophy. In this question, my question is, will we have the ability to combine all lanterns rings and become every single one at the same time? Maybe not life or death. Like I could see not combining those two, but the other ones.
No, because you can't
Oh
buy multiple
yeah,
rings.
you moved down. You moved down. Why couldn't you? Why not?
Because it's a trade-off.
No.
Because if you embody at the same time, and rage at the same
Yes, you can. Did you know there's a Lantern Corps that combined all the Lantern Corps? Exactly. Wouldn't that be in the game? Wow. What a fook.
I never said that Lance Cole wasn't good. I just thought he was a bit powerful.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Yep, your game moved down now. Your game moved down.
They're actually the big bad threat.
You're the big bad threat. How about that?
You fight each other, but they're the big bad villain. If you stay within your Lance Cole, you have to basically come together to defeat yourself, basically. So all of the
No.
Lanterns
No.
in one
No.
to fight each other.
No. I wouldn't be part. I want to join them. I want to join them.
There's also multiplayer. There's also multiplayer.
I'd rather be able to do the other Lantern Corps. I'm not gonna lie. You disappoint me. You disappoint.
You will be able to. Someone like your homie joins the Red Lanterns, you could be on a different lantern team and fight your homie.
But could we team up?
Well, you don't have to fight each other.
But we can help each other. So I could choose to be a Green Lantern, and then all of a sudden your homie's a Red Lantern, and I could help him.
Well, you don't have to fight anyone.
Well, I want to team up with a Red Lantern.
That's up to you.
Okay, then. There we go, then.
But obviously, because you're a Green Lantern, you have the capabilities of fighting the others.
I mean, I could, but I'm not going to fight your homie. I'd probably choose the fear. I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
Like I said, there is cameos.
So, Sinestro.
Sinestro.
Batman. Well, I mean, you said the DLCs would be with the Justice League members. So,
Yes. People that the lantern core that you choose, you will see a cameo of a Justice League member.
right.
So if you pick the lantern core, you obviously the person that guides you, who's kind of like how Alfred is in the Arkham games, so he's talking your ear off. It would be like that. If you're part of the power will be in your ear, you know, if you're in the power of fear, Symmetra's in your ear, power of rage, Justice will be in your ear, etc. etc. And then also you would get a cameo of one of the Justice League members in said group. Tease is a Justice League game.
Well, what the duck?
Tease is a Justice League game.
What the duck? What the duck?
I don't even remember what theirs two were.
I have an idea. How about you stop being a fook stick? And just let me be the stupid Ultimate Lantern. Isn't that the Brown Lantern Corps?
No.
Yeah, that's the one that combined them all. Exactly. Wait, what?
There's no brown.
That's bullshit. There was a brown.
Green, which is willpower, red, which is rage, orange, which is avarice or like greed,
Yep.
yellow, which is fear, blue is hope, indigo is compassion, black is fear. Black's fear.
Black's death. Sir. What the duck?
White's life.
No, you're wrong. You forgot brown. There is a brown. I kind of wish I was. He goes fair enough. Alright, I'm going to be live for another 19 minutes, and then I'm going to the possibly all. Oh, possibly, if I feel up to it. Out of my way, fool. Yeah, I'm talking to you, ya homie. Your homie's not here. Exactly. How they're not. Really? How did I not get that? Wait, did you start the game all over again, Cloud? Or did you end your stream? Oh.
I was. I don't know how long. Like an hour.
2 hours and 5 minutes.
And then also there was another like 15 minutes of that.
Yep, I see it.
I did start it.
Well, they're
But
not
then
good.
obviously my internet temporarily just crashed.
Oh, good going. Get better internet, my guy. No, I'm just kidding. That's what your homie would have said. He would have said McDonald's Wi-Fi. But see, that's why he's a fook stick. All right, Cloud. I got a question for you.
I've got an answer.
Which game would you look forward to the most? Out of three of us making one. Frozen is making a Marvel game.
Marvel.
Yep. I'm not gonna tell you which one yet.
Okay.
Your homie is gonna make a DC game.
Yep.
And I am gonna make an Assassin's Creed game. Now, Frozen is going to make. Let's do. Let's do a Quicksilver game. Your homie is gonna make a Supergirl game. And I am gonna make a sequel featuring Connor Kenway, aka Assassin's Creed 3. Which one would you look forward to the most?
Yours is gonna be last.
What? Why is that?
It's Assassin's Creed.
What's wrong with Assassin's Creed? You're just mad. You're mad. Why? What's wrong with Assassin's Creed?
I'm just not a fan. That's what I'd say.
Well, you're wank.
Yours will be dead last.
Why would mine be dead last?
Because
Okay, you know what? No, mine's gonna be an Ezio game, so it has Roger Craig Smith. No, no. You can't do that. That's Roger Craig Smith you're talking about. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah. He's Batman.
Yeah, he is Batman.
Sonic game with his voice in it, or a Resident Evil game with his voice in it. I don't care.
Wow. So you'd rather have a Quicksilver game and a Superman game before another Assassin. Or yeah,
Yes.
that is bullcrap, and you know it. You know what? You did not get to hear the story arcs. You didn't even let me clarify what kind of game. So wait a minute. Hold up. Frozen's game is gonna have lots of how do I put this without saying it? Well, you know what he is. It's gonna have lots of that in there. And then your homie's game is gonna be very political.
Okay.
Like too political.
Yep.
Like it's gonna be Suicide Squad level, maybe even worse.
How would that work for Silver Surfer?
First of all, it's Supergirl. He's got the Supergirl. Remember, he's DC.
Oh, Supergirl.
Hey, it's a woman.
Why would it be? Yeah, I can see it being like, oh, I'm powerful because I'm
Exactly. Think about that.
Again, I would use those two before.
That's sad. That is sad. I'd rather have the Assassin's Creed game. That is sad.
I don't care for Assassin's Creed.
Well, you know what? I don't care about you. So how about that? You're just mad because he's the GOAT. Thank you, Camo. How's your day, Camo? Fuck you.
So my order would be. Oh no, the first would be the Super Go game. Second would be the Silver Surfer game. And then last would be the
Wow.
Assassin's Creed Ezio game.
So okay. So wait a minute. If you don't like Assassin's Creed, why did you keep streaming it? You should have been one and done. You did one and done, but you didn't do that. You did multiple streams.
I did two.
Exactly. You did multiple streams. That's more than one, Mother Ducker.
I haven't even finished the story. I got to.
Well, then you can't say you hate it because you haven't given it a full chance.
I watched you play it.
That does not count. Yeah, okay, if you hate it, why do you watch my streams when I do it?
Because it's your streaming. Supporting the stream.
So you're supporting me. I appreciate that. I need more people like you. But anyway.
I support the stream, I don't support the game.
Okay, I see now. I respect that. I respect that. Okay. All right. Okay. You know what? Can I change my question? Okay. Your homie's making an Assassin's Creed game. Frozen is making an Assassin's Creed game. And I'm making an Assassin's Creed game. I'm making an Ezio game. That's not true. That is not true. Okay, that's true.
More knowledge and have more interest and building a better game in that universe than they do. That's like handing someone who hates. That's like giving Mr. Durag a Batman game to make a Batman game, but he doesn't like it. That makes no sense.
Alright, would you rather have me make an Assassin's Creed game or have Mr. Durag make a Batman game? He's mad. I heard that face. Well, no, because he won't make a good Batman game. What do you mean? What do you mean? But it won't be good. He's gonna make a trashy Batman game. Look at his opinions. He just brings Superman into the game.
You're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. Assassin's Creed game.
Wow. You're not a true fan. No, I'm talking about Batman.
What?
Yeah, you're not a true fan of Batman. You'd rather have a bad Batman game. I don't want a bad Batman. Bro, you do realize if we get a bad Batman game, Batman will be dead. He will be dead, and WB won't be getting any more Batman games. I would rather have a good Assassin's Creed game than a bad Batman game. Take a day off. It'd be bad. It would be hated on. Here, okay, hold on. Here's the context. It's gonna be Suicide Squad level, maybe even worse. Oh, you would? You would? Oh! Did you forget that he is a fan of Suicide Squad? He defended the game even more than me. He was a no. Who starts with a C? Who starts with a C? Hold on. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I know. I mean, technically, I played it early. So.
Yeah, but they got to play it even before us.
That's true.
And to be fair,
Cloud is outed, not a true fan. I know, he's not a true fan. He'd rather have a bad Batman game. Makes no sense. It's Suicide Squad level. Actually, no, it's worse than Suicide Squad. Well, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. No, no, you can't do that. No, it's gonna be the greatest of all time. It's gonna be the greatest video game. So you want a worse version of a Batman game that's so you're wanting a game to do worse than Suicide Squad that features our favorite superhero. Okay, he's gonna have it to where Batman dies. He's gonna have it to where yeah, he's gonna have it to where he dies. Superman shows up. Oh, it's gonna be right in the middle of the story. It's gonna be called Batman Arkham Death, and that Batman's gonna die. Halfway through the story, and then Superman's gonna come. You're gonna be forced to play as Superman. For the rest of the game. On top of that, they're gonna have all of the jokes. A Sweet Baby is involved. But with my game, I'm making a good Assassin's Creed game. Nope, it's Batman. It's a Batman game. Oh, there is no free roaming at all. There's no free roaming at all. Sir, do you not know that Arkham Asylum is technically not a free roaming game? Technically, no. It's more linear. It is classified as more linear. It's still there is not really an open world. What are you supposed to do when you collect all Riddler trophies and defeat all the thugs? You do nothing. It's not. There's nothing to do. Yes, but you could do it during the main story. And canon-wise, guess what? Canon-wise, he collects them all before the main story ends. Actually, canon-wise, Arkham City, you cannot collect everything during the main story. There is one trophy that you can't get until after the main story. Because Rocksteady locked it off on purpose.
And that is what contemplates whether a map is considered open world.
If there's stuff to do, yes, it's linear, my guy. It is a linear Arkham game. That's exactly what this Arkham game's gonna be. My guy, it's still linear. It's still linear. Jesus, help me, please. Listen, my guy, Cloud, my good friend, it's still linear. The whole game is technically linear. No. No. The whole game is linear. Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Knight are open world. And technically, Arkham Shadows is open world. You have stuff to do after the main story. They said based off of. That doesn't mean that it's the exact same. Yeah, it was inspired. The story was inspired, my guy. The story length was inspired by Arkham Asylum, my guy. My guy. My guy. My guy. No. No. I'm sorry, you're wrong. I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Blackgate's not open world.
Blackgate's not open world.
Nope.
It's open world.
Arkham City's open world.
But the actual city,
No, that's not open world.
oh, wait, so what is open world? You said Arkham Shadow's open world.
I'm talking about. Wait a minute, what?
You said Arkham Shadow's open world.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say that. Arkham Shadows is not open world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, it is not open world. But so is Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum is not open world, my guy.
It's open world. Define what is open world.
Is it a open world that gives it something to do at every time you boot up the game?
You're talking about the content. Content to do of that premise.
You know, is there anything? I'm not talking about content-wise. I'm talking about anything at all. In Arkham Asylum, once you beat the story and you've already collected all the riddle trophies, let's say you do it canon. You do the canon way of playing it. What are you supposed to do?
If it was
Bro, Arkham Asylum is not open world. I'm sorry. It isn't. It is not. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do, my guy. But you already did it during the story. Bro. Is there free roam aspects? Is there free roam aspects? No.
What do you mean by that?
There is no free roam aspects in Arkham Asylum. You know exactly what I mean.
It's a free aspect. Elaborate.
How do you want me to elaborate? Like, you know what free roam aspects are.
Yes. So,
What do you think I'm referring to? Thank you, Camo! He says it is quite literally a linear game. You're meant to do things in order. That's exactly my point. It's a linear game, my guy. The main story and technically the one side mission that you do is still technically linear, my guy. They're all linear. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. In the canon way, he gets them ASAP as soon as he's able to get them. He goes to... Okay, so whatever point in the story he's at, he's collecting those trophies that he can at that specific time. It doesn't need to... Bro, you're going to tell me that he's going to do it out of order just to dry out his day? Like, no. No, take a day off. Take a day off. There's nothing stating that he didn't do it in a particular order either. So there you go. There you go.
you can do it in different orders. You can go to the botanical garden.
It's still linear. That is linear, my guy.
So you have to do one mission after the next. Yes, the story is linear because it is not multi-stranded. It's
My guy, it's still linear. Hold up. We're about to Google this shit. Here we go. Is Arkham Asylum linear?
Arkham Asylum open world. Yes, Batman Arkham Asylum is open world game. It's linear because of the story. It's open world.
Okay, I'm seeing that it's technically classified as both. That's what I'm getting.
The story is linear.
It's still linear.
You were justifying that it didn't have open world.
Okay, are you gonna try to tell me? Are you gonna try to tell me that Arkham Asylum is on par as far as open world when it comes to Arkham Knight, Arkham City, Arkham Origins? Okay, then it's more linear. That's what I'm saying. It's more linear.
Full stop.
It's still linear.
Is it on par with the open world map? It's not.
Technically, yeah, you know what? Campbell makes a good point. Technically, all the Arkham games are technically linear, in a way. Technically, any game is linear, because at that point, you have one thing that you do throughout the whole game. Rather, that's story, side missions, all that stuff.
No, it's not linear.
Night is linear to a certain extent. It is.
No, it's the story, and then it opens up more side missions. You can do side missions in different orders.
Yes, but then after you do all the linear stuff, what is it considered as? A linear game.
It's not a linear game. It's an open world action adventure.
So now we're choosing how open world it is. Bro, Arkham Asylum is the most linear game out of all of them.
You were going off of the
All
fact
of them.
You said flat out Arkham Asylum is a linear game. You said you were.
Yes, it is flat out linear. It is. I don't care what anybody says. It is linear out of all the Arkham games. It is the most linear, which makes it more linear.
Is it the most linear out of all the Arkham games? Yes, only because it has less content and it has a smaller map. Off of the premise of what it is, it has a linear story, but it has an
Ugh.
open world. It has an open world. Arkham Asylum is an open world map.
It might be, just because it's an open world map doesn't mean it's an open world game. That does not clarify the difference.
That is what it is.
That is not what it.
Open world.
That,
So if you're an open world map, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not an open world game. If it,
yeah, look at Arkham Asylum. Bro, Assassin's Creed 1 is more open world than Arkham Asylum, and that is a very linear game. It is not. Compared to the other ones, bro. It is not. It is not. It is not. Actually, no, you can't. No, you cannot.
Which is in canon because of story decisions, is Poison Ivy's spot, the Scarecrow locations, the Fight Arena, or just in general.
Do you not realize that Batman Arkham Asylum literally starts you off in intensive treatment, and you can't even explore that at all. Everything in that game is linear. That game starts you off at a certain point. What?
So,
Bro.
you say that it's linear because it starts off in intensive treatment, right?
No, well, I'm saying it starts off linear, and it is linear. Yes, you are right. The story is linear, but the whole game is linear. It is the most linear game out of all of them. Every aspect is linear.
Every single game,
Oh my god.
yes, there are linear aspects to them.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is that you're saying that it doesn't have any open world aspects whatsoever.
Besides at the end of the game being able to explore wherever you want at any time that you want, yes, that part is more. That no. Hold up. Time out. Reback. Start all over. Backpedal. Hold up. The story, yes, is linear in all Arkham games, kind of. I would argue as you progress through the games, they get more open world.
They're level gated. That's what makes it linear.
No.
Every single actually, let me elaborate. Every single console Arkham game has a to explore. It has a linear story that is level gated and you're forced to go to set locations. The story is linear. You're forced to do it in a particular way and you're forced to go to a specific location. Yes, the story is linear. It has every single console Arkham game, including Suicide Squad, has an open map.
You know what? Actually, that's not true. In Arkham Asylum, the only time that you get to fully explore the map is at the very end of the game. And here's why. At the very beginning, throughout maybe I'd say 3/4 of the game, you have to wait until you get all gadgets. But then by that point, you're basically at the Poison Ivy part where she blocks off a lot of areas of the map. Like the sewers, like the penitentiary, like it is more linear. It is way too linear to be classified as an open world.
You asked me whether the Riddler trophies can be done during the story. That adds to my point because you don't have the gadgets. So you have to go back to said locations. You have to go back after the story. That just proves my point that post-story...
No. You know, the canon way is that he collects them before the night is done, before the story. You can't go against canon. Just because you wait doesn't mean that, bro, it's, oh my god, bro, the canon way, just because you don't collect them all, that doesn't mean that instantly makes the game open world. Camo, I know what you're saying. I always read your guys' comment. Hi, Mary. I see that you're here too. Wow, she came in. The thing is, the game has linear progression. That's what makes it linear, because you are confined to small hallways and a linear story with few side missions. Actually, not even a few. You get one that's technically done during the main story. But anyway, story with a few, you can go through the game linearly. Of course, you can go back, but that's because it's connected. Yes, there are some free roam aspects, but it goes through linear progression. Exactly. That's my whole point, is that the game is considered linear. Not protected while escorting. Good. I don't know if this is an idea.
It has linear progression, it has emphasis on combat and stealth, unique level design, it's not a sandbox, it has open world exploration, you can physically move around different islands and explore different areas within the asylum. It has
Not until the end. That part's not true until the end. That's what makes it linear.
The story is linear, not the game. It's still an open world map.
It may be an open world map, but that doesn't make the game open world. Bro, you can't do anything you want until the end of the game, and even then, there are so many limited things that you get to do. Like, you barely get to fight anyone.
That's a linear story. What you're referring to is if the game was a multi-stranded story and you can take different avenues.
No. I'm talking about the free roam aspects. There is nothing you can do. But no, because in canon, he's already done them. Okay, just because every Joe Smo doesn't do it, that it's still canon. The canon way proves it's linear. It's linear. Oh my god. Bro, I was 9 years old and I didn't know where all the shit was. But once again, it's not linear. It's not. It's. Thank you, Camo. The game is more linear than open world. That is my point to this. It is technically considered linear more than all the other Arkham games. That is my whole point. And I was already seen, so it doesn't matter now. Great. Next thing you're going to say is all the Arkham Knights DLC packs was open world. When they are clearly linear.
You compare Arkham Asylum to Knights DLC pack.
That's because they're both linear!
The stories are linear.
Bro, there is nothing to do in your so-called open world after the story.
DLC packs. So let's look at the Night DLC packs. Nightwings, you can't go back and explore. Red Hood, you can't go back and explore. Robins, you can't go back and explore. Batgirls, you can complete the story and go back because it's the biggest.
Yeah, okay. You have a point. You have a point with Batgirl, but I would even argue Batgirls is still linear. Oh my gosh, bro. I didn't get on the horse! Bro. There ain't no fucking way that you truly believe that. Oh my god. The open world map has nothing. You know what? I would be willing to say Batgirls is more open world than Arkham Asylum. Bro. Bro. I have no idea what you are saying. What are you trying to put in my mouth? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Asylum has a tiny map in comparison to the rest of the franchise, and because it has less content, meaning it is a more linear, progressive experience.
Bro.
When it has an open world map.
Bro.
Yes, it has little stuff to do because there's only one.
It's not open world, my guy. It's not. It's not open world. You are constantly stuck and only allowed to do certain things throughout the whole story until the very, very, very end. And even then, there's nothing to do! My guy!
To get all the stuff, so then they tell you to backpedal to go back to said areas where you had to get a gadget to then use it to get said stuff.
Oh my god.
To go back and explore
Bro.
You can't get every single trophy there and then. You have to go back and explore to go back and get certain stuff. That is the point. And
That doesn't make it open world.
you're going back and exploring and getting the contents around the map.
No, because you did that before. He did it before the end of the story. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That is the canon way, my guy. That is the canon way. Oh my god.
Explosive punch Joker.
Wait, you had an underwear mod? Hold up. Wait a minute. That's not even canon, Mike. I don't even think that's PG. But anyway. I'm gonna wear your outside. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. My guy. No, listen. Just because he's going around collecting trophies during the story does not make it open world, my guy. Because once again, during the story, he's already collecting them. He was doing that as he was doing the story. Every time he entered the room, he looked for riddles, riddle trophies, breakable objects, the Amadeus Arkhams. He was doing it. No, it was part of the linear experience. My guy. Arkham Asylum is a linear game. It has open world. Bro. Arkham Asylum is linear. There is nothing you could say. It may have an open world, but that doesn't mean it is an open world game. Listen. My point is, it needs to be something like Arkham City level or higher. It's not linear, my guy. It is not linear. Wait, I said it's not linear. I meant it is linear. It's not open world. It's not an open world game. Everything in that game is literally linear. Besides the map. And even then, the map is cut off most of the story. Bro. Oh my god. Yes, and throughout the whole game, most of the map is either cut off because you don't have the right gadgets to access those areas, or Poison Ivy's blocking it off. So you're telling me, right after you find quote unquote Jim Gordon's body dead, that you think is dead during the first Scarecrow part, instead of going down that long hallway, you can go explore the Bane room, right? You're telling me that during the Jim Gordon part, that instead of going to the Scarecrow 1 room, you can go to the Bane room and just explore, right? No, because that door is locked. You're supposed to go there. That is a linear... Yes. Yes, it's a linear story, but because the whole story is linear, it makes the map linear because of what the game does. It makes the game all linear, my guy. No, because Arkham City, you have other things to do. You can do Mr. Freeze whenever you want. You could do Riddler anytime you want, basically. I'm not talking about the story. I'm not talking about the story, my guy. That's because he doesn't have the right equipment. He can't confront Joker without the electric gun. That's why he goes, saves the doctor, and gets the electric gun. That's still, yes, that's a linear story. Yes, I know that. Yes. All the stories are linear, but Arkham Asylum's story makes the whole game linear because of the way the game is structured.
Facility. You can, if you want to, go into the botanical gardens. You can, if you want to.
No, you can't. You can only go in one room. You can't explore that. When you get out of the intensive treatment, you can go into the first room and then explore that room. That doesn't mean it's open world. That means that you don't have the right gadget to explore the rest of the building. You cannot. Bro, I'm going insane. My guy.
Can you go into the mansion?
No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
You're not allowed to go into the sewers.
No, you cannot. In Arkham Asylum, you cannot go at any point of the map whenever you want until the very end.
It's because of the story.
But that makes the whole game. The story makes the whole game linear because of that reason, though. Yes, it does. Your argument. So you're telling me that once you have every gadget at that point, or at least all the gadgets, you could go and do the penitentiary riddles right then and there. No, because at that point, you're attacking Poison Ivy, who's blocking everything off. Bro, go in front of the penitentiary right before you fight Poison Ivy. She is blocking it off. You cannot go there. And she also blocks off the sewers.
Forcing you to go fight her.
That's why it's not open world. You can't go there. It's not open world. It's linear. It's linear. At that point, you're at the end of the game, and that's where you can collect every riddle trophy, and that's when, in canon, he collects all of it. Then he stops Joker. In canon, he saves Joker for last. Yes.
So you say that for last. So after he's defeated every rogue gallery that he's been forced to deal with there and then, he explores the map, carrying all the stuff from the gadgets he got as he was progressing. He gets the Batclaw, he gets the explosive gel, he gets the line launcher, and then he is able to then deal with the remote hacking device. He's then able to deal with all of these obstacles to then explore the map and get all of the Riddler trophies. Exploring being, the appropriate word. Going around and then finishing the side mission to then apprehend Riddler. Going around. Whether he did it before or after defeating Joker, he is in canon still exploring and going around the map. He is having to backpedal because he doesn't have the gadgets. Even in canon, he still has to go around so that he can apprehend Riddler so he's not roaming free. He still has to deal with Riddler. He goes back and gets all the trophies, exploring like you would in gameplay, and then goes and deals with Joker for last. He's still in canon canonically going around the map.
Okay, yeah, he goes around every map, but that doesn't mean that it is open world.
That is what makes it open world.
That is not. No, it's not. You have not listened to what I said. I said that Arkham Asylum is the most linear game out of all the Arkham games. It might have a couple of open world elements, but it's not technically open world. The game itself is 90% linear. That would qualify it as mostly linear, which is what Google was just saying. Yes, there's an open map at a certain point. But even still, the story makes it linear because it's linear. That's literally what I'm trying to explain to you, my guy.
It's a linear story. Yes, I've already said that is.
Yes, but you have to admit, because of the linear story, at least in Arkham City, I get to explore the Bowery anytime I want. Your definition is that you think you can explore it right off the bat. It makes an open world, and that you get to explore whenever you want. In Arkham Asylum, you can't do that.
Some point he can do it. Makes it open world. Start to finish, but you 100% complete the game. That was not accessible and it was not a feature that you can go explore Arkham Asylum, then yes, it is a linear game. But it's allowing you to explore Arkham Asylum because of how linear the story is. To explore Arkham Asylum makes it open world. It has an open world feature.
Apparently, we're just entertaining them. We're entertaining them, which is a good thing. Oh.
It's the most linear because one has less content. It is because of the story.
That's what makes it linear, though.
Yes, but it also it's got open features still.
It has one open world feature, and that's at the very end.
Talking about the side mission, that's the content that coincides with that feature. It's a place that you can explore fullest ability without, if things aren't blocked off, then you can't go explore. That is the case in the story, because the story is very linear. But it isn't the case after the story. For the mansion, go back to the botanical gardens, the medical facility, intensive treatment, with the premise of doing that one side mission being Riddler. That is the premise of Riddler in all the other games. Exploring the collectibles. That is the point of collectibles.
Yes, but he's already getting 90% of the riddles as he's already quote unquote exploring during the story. He's exploring during the linear story. When he's going through the intensive treatment, he's collecting every trophy that he can at that point. That's him during the linear story collecting the trophies, okay? And scanning riddles and scanning the Amadeus Arkham and also breaking all the Joker's teeth. That's what he's doing, okay? So then what he does is he remembers where all the other ones are that he can't get right then and there. Now, hold up before you say, well, that's part of the free roam. Most of the buildings he goes back to during the story. So, like intensive treatment, he goes back there a second time. He goes back to Botanical Gardens. He goes back to the mansion a second time during the story. Now, that part is skippable. Yes. Is Cloud actually being serious or joking? He's such a big Arkham fan, but Crimson has to explain trivia elements of the game that I assume an experienced player would know to him. Damn, she's calling your ass out.
Serious or joke.
Bro, everybody, listen, Cloud.
I know the premise of how a game
Just because you know how a game works, that doesn't mean that you are correct.
Just because you can inside the story doesn't negate the fact that you are going out of your
That's not the point. That's not my point. That's not my point. Most of the story, in fact, 95% of it, and the 5% that is at the very end, right before you go after Joker. At that point, you can freely explore any building at any part of the map at any time. That, yes, that part is open world. However, the other 95% is literally Batman being forced to go to this spot because A, he doesn't have the right gadgets to get to the other areas, or B, because someone or something is blocking areas. Like in the Poison Ivy arc, it's Poison Ivy's plants. Or in the Scarecrow parts, it's because the doors are locked, because thugs are behind the door. Or because, what's another good example? Or even Scarecrow himself. You know, it just depends on the point. Because that 95% of the game is linear, makes that game overall linear. It has open world elements, like the map that you like to come out, and you've proven that point. However, out of all the Arkham games, Arkham Asylum is the only one, and I'm saying console games, the Arkham Asylum is the only one that doesn't allow you to go pretty much anywhere that you want at the beginning all the way to the end. There's a clear linear story that you have to go to. Yes, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Knight is very linear when it comes to story, but my point is that Arkham Asylum versus the other ones is that in the other ones, you could do 60% of the exploring whenever you want. That's my whole point. When a game makes it more linear and is more focused on being linear, it's overall a linear game, but it might have open world aspects. That is my point.
How independent players by what it has as if it has in the first place?
Wait. Say that again? You cut out.
How people, you know, market a game is certain features regarding, depending on its quantity, whether it's very little or very much. If it has a certain feature, it can be labeled.
You're-
So, if Arkham Asylum had, you know, if it was like, oh, you're just going around throwing gadgets the whole game, and it was more a case of, oh, it's an exploration game, and it has 5% combat. It's 5% of the game where it has combat. Then you can still.
That comes down to gameplay. That's player choice right there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that hypothetical, if that was actually all the content that involves combat. It's on that thing, which is very little to the game, because it has 5% combat, it can still be made that is a combat game.
Bro, that makes no sense. That's
Even though a game that has 5% action and 95% is an adventure game, can still be called an action adventure.
okay, yeah, it could be called action adventure, but that doesn't mean everybody is going to call it an action adventure. They'll just call it adventure. It depends on the person. But again,
Asylum is labelled as an open world action adventure game.
but it's not open world. In my book, that is not open world. I would argue that Arkham Shadows is more open world than Asylum, but I'm not going to go there. Because I think they're pretty similar. There's more stuff to do in that open world that makes it qualify as an open world than Arkham Asylum.
Same premise where there's dungeons and stuff like that, and there's level gates, and it's locked behind gadgets. They literally copy Asylum.
Okay, you know what? Let me explain it to you like this. This game that I'm playing right now, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I can do. Look at this world right now. Look at this. You see all these point of interest on the map. I could go buy a doctor's place. I could renovate lots of buildings. I could do side missions like this Christina mission. I could go to a tailor and do stuff to my outfit. I could go, fast travel using these points of the map. I could go do this. So, well, actually, I can't do that one yet. But I could do this side mission. I could go do over here and do this stuff over here. This is open world. Arkham Asylum has nothing to do with this at all. In Arkham Asylum, let's see, there's 3 places on the map here. So this is Arkham West, here's Arkham East, and here's Arkham North. You start off in Arkham North, go into East. You do stuff there, you come all the way back to Arkham North, protect the Batmobile, and you have to go back to Arkham West, or go to Arkham West, and then go to the medical building, do the stuff in there. There's no way. I can't go from Arkham East to Arkham West. I can't go from the intensive treatment to Arkham West. I have to go all the way through here and go all the way back around. That's a linear story. But guess what? The main story for this game that I'm playing right now is right here. Right here. But guess what? I could go, all the way up here, all the way around here, and then go all the way to the mission and do that. That's what makes it open world. I can explore this at any time. Now, do they cut off some points of the map? Yes, like over here. I can't go up over here yet because I have not unlocked the right sequence to access that part of the map. But look at how much stuff there's already to do versus Arkham Asylum that is level gating, as you like to call it, and also blocking you off because you don't have the right gadget, or Poison Ivy is blocking you from getting them, versus this, which has 10 times more content. This is open world. This is more open world than Arkham Asylum.
Open world is based off of the premise of exploring it for the content.
Okay, if that's true, then this game, that just proves my point even more, because, again, I could go from this line of the map right here all the way to down here, collecting everything, buying everything, doing whatever I need to do. In Arkham Asylum, here I am in Arkham West, but I can't go into the penitentiary, or here I am in Arkham East, and I can't even explore the full mansion or botanical gardens at any time until that certain point in the story.
You are correct that you can't do certain things or see certain things till certain points in the story. Correct. You can't do that in certain points of the story. I am saying that I would consider it an open world game based off of the fact that based off of the premise it has that as a feature where at some point during my playthrough I will be able to explore these areas of the map at any time. At some point. Yes, you can't do it, you have got a point through most of the story, off of the premise that they structured it so that you were meant to technically do it post-story. That it gives you time to do it after the
Yes, they want you to do it post-story, but the fact that you can do it during the story, and I'm talking about Riddler, and then in fact that is the canon way of doing it, then that means that there's more of an argument of why this game is more linear or considered linear than open world.
The open world's based off the content. It's based off.
So you're saying content has nothing to do with it? Nothing to do with the open world?
It coincides with that feature.
Yes, but who in their right mind is going to be like, hey, I've collected all the riddle trophies already. I've already taken down every enemy. I'm just going to go run around the map and do whatever I want. And
It gives you a reason to explore the map. Yes, but if you took out Riddler's trophies and all the stuff that does that
You can explore it. It's an explorable map, and that's what makes it open world. But there is nothing to do that makes it more of an open world game than a linear game.
Reason to explore the open world. It doesn't give for it to be an open.
So then you're just proving my point even more. It's not justified to be an open world then.
No, I'm saying that regardless whether how much content is in the open world does not justify it.
Bro.
So whether or not you get 90% of Riddler's trophies through playing through the story does not negate the fact that of that premise of that feature existing. So whether or not you complete 90 to 95% of Riddler's trophies as you are progressing through the story, it doesn't matter because of the premise that you can still explore. That is what makes it open world, is that you can explore. At some point during the game, that you can explore the map.
Okay, so then by your logic, technically Batman Vengeance is somewhat open world because there's a few of those missions that you can explore. But yet that's a linear game.
I don't remember much about that game. So I can't really tell you.
I can tell you now, it's a linear game, even though there's a couple missions that have open world elements. Just like Arkham Asylum.
So if you took out, so say we got Arkham City, right? Got Arkham City, and all of the side missions didn't come with the game. All of the side missions, every single one. It was just the map and the main story. Is that no longer an open world?
Well, I'm assuming since...
You don't have anything to do in the map anymore. Does that revoke the fact that it's no longer open world? You have no reason to explore the map anymore. Does that negate the fact that it's still an open world map?
I would say because there is nothing to do, then no, it's not an open world.
You see what my point? You still have the open world.
You have the open map, but what is there to do in that quote-unquote open map? Nothing.
It gives the reason to go explore, but it doesn't mean you can't go explore the map. It gives the open world worth explore it because there's content to do. But that doesn't negate the fact that that is a premise that still exists of exploring. Whether or not there's things to do or not. The fact that it exists is what would make it open world. Saying not having its
Okay, but City, you gotta think, City, the way City is structured, it makes it more of an open world than Arkham Asylum.
yes, but you have to do the story to go see these maps, these areas. It doesn't look things as much as Asylum. It's more open, yes, like I said, you know, it is the most linear version.
Okay, so how are you gonna say and justify that Arkham Asylum is an open world game when most of the time you can't do what you're saying qualifies as an open world, but yet Arkham City,
Like I said,
that makes no sense. That makes no sense.
justification for the premise that exists.
Just because it exists doesn't mean that you can do it at any time, which is by your definition makes it an open world.
I'm not saying it makes it open world based off how much you can do it at any time. I'm saying to the premise that at some point you can do it. Like I said, whether or not you can only do it for, you know, after the story's done, or you can do it the entire time throughout between missions. The fact that it exists and you can do it in the game makes it open world, which you can do it. If it was like The Last of Us, where you are forced to just do the missions and you can't
Wait, so are you saying you classify Last of Us as an open world game?
I classify Last of Us has no open world because it is mission to mission.
Okay, but yet during those missions you can explore that area at that time, correct? By your definition, that would make that open world technically. But I would say that's a linear game. That's the same reason why I'm calling Arkham Asylum linear.
I would say Last of Us at most is semi-open world.
Bro, that's not true either. It's linear. It's the same premise for Arkham Asylum.
Last of Us is the difference between Last of Us and Arkham Asylum is once you've completed the story of Last of Us, that is it. That is the game. You can't go back and explore the different locations you visited as you were progressing. Arkham Asylum, you can do that. You can go back and explore most of the map of Asylum. You can go back and have the ability to free roam. Last of Us doesn't have free roam. It is level games.
Okay, having free roam doesn't necessarily make it an open world.
That is how the
Okay, open world.
free roam is the ability to
Let
roam around an open world location.
Okay, well, in that case, Last of Us is an open world because yes, it's very linear, just like the story of Arkham Asylum. But during those Titan, we did Google it, and technically, what I found was that Arkham Asylum is considered both open world and linear. That's what I saw, and I'm saying it's more linear because of how it's structured. Yes, it has open world elements.
The reason this debate started is because you said it doesn't have a full stop.
No, I said it was more linear. That I classify it more linear.
I said it has open world, and you said no.
Yeah, but having a free roam map doesn't make it open world.
I can agree that it's a linear story, and for most of the game, it is pretty much linear. But for the fact that it has world features, it doesn't just because you have to wait till a certain point in the game, pretty much the end of the game, to access those features doesn't automatically strip it or negate the fact that it's a feature.
Okay, but I can use that same argument against you. That just because it does eventually doesn't mean that it's classified as open world either.
How?
What do you mean how? What do you mean how? Bro, okay. The more content you have, the more likely people is to freely explore. Wait, am I getting attacked? I'm getting attacked. Okay, the more likely people are to free roam your open world. Okay, so yes, it has open world elements, but the difference between all the other Arkham games and Arkham Asylum is you cannot free roam pretty much anywhere in Arkham Asylum without progressing through a linear story that would make the other game linear, or I'm sorry, that game more linear, versus Arkham City. When you get into the open world and first put on the Batsuit, I can go to the industrial district and get riddle trophies because it's not locked off to me.
When you're in a mission in Arkham City, like Steel Mill or Museum or whatever, so you can't then go explore when you're in the middle of said mission.
The steel mill you can't. In the museum you can, because I've done it before.
What with the fact that you still need to go save the hostages?
Yeah.
You have to save Freeze.
I was able to get out of the museum after I gained access. That means after the jammer part. I went back, saved the first cop, and was able to leave. I've done it before. The only reason why you can't do it in the steel mill is because technically there's no entrance or exit that you can access yet.
Courthouse.
The courthouse? I'm pretty sure you can leave that as long as you don't start the cutscene.
After you save Catwoman, are you able to leave without,
No, you have to do the detective that
Yeah.
part.
So it also is level games. It has the fact that it's, I would say it's more open world because it gives you more opportunities to, as doesn't negate the fact that there isn't an opportunity in Asylum.
Yes, but in Asylum, it locks it off though. Your whole point is to consider it an open world, but for pretty much the whole game, and by your logic, because people don't go explore, they just make the 100% the game just by doing the linear story. So that just kind of proves my point even more.
No, my logic goes by off the fact that the premise exists, not off of the fact that
Okay, but when it
how
exists,
appealing or how likely people are to take advantage of said feature.
okay, but yet whenever I make a point like that, you're trying to say, well, it doesn't matter what people say. You can't say that people it's based off of what people do, but then turn around and say it's not based off of what people do.
What you can do, whether people choose to do that, that's up to them.
But that doesn't mean that they get to decide that it's a open world, or they get to be part of the reason why it's classified as an open world or not.
I'm going off of an objective standpoint that objectively it's within the game.
Yeah, it's in the game, but that
Whether that's the most appealing thing to do for someone in their playthrough, I'll just, do stuff as I tag along. I don't really want to explore. That's up to them. But that doesn't negate the fact that because they don't find it appealing to do said thing, that makes it that the thing doesn't exist.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist because I've already admitted that it has open world elements, but I do not classify it as an open world game because of how linear it is. If that game was just like Arkham City, I would say that it's an open world game, but it isn't because you're locked off of pretty much everything.
Open world because you have a more opportunity to explore. I agree. You have more opportunities, like in Origins, like in Knights, to go explore. Every single Arkham game is level gated to an extent when you're in a mission. Because look at the beginning of Origins, you're stuck at Blackgate, you can't go explore Gotham. You can't, when you're in missions at night, when you're like down the undergrounds, you can't just go explore, Riddler's stuff. Every Arkham game, because that is how its story is structured and why people love the story, is how it's structured because it's level gated. Like you have the open world, right? In all the Arkham games, you have the open world, and then you have a linear story within it, where you are forced to go to when it comes to a certain strand of the story, you have to go to point A to point B, and then from point B to point C. That's the point, and that's why people like the Arkham games so much, is that it offers both. That is why when you searched it up, it said both. I'm in agreement. It is linear and open world because it offers both. It gives you an
But my
opportunity
point is,
for
it's
both.
more linear.
If you think it's more linear, it's up to you. But I'm saying
And that's what I'm trying to prove. In fact, I think I've
Your
proven.
initial point is that you said that the open world doesn't exist. Because I said it has open world, and you said no. That's where the debate started. That you said it doesn't. You said no, it doesn't have open world.
I said it does. It is not classified as a open world game. That's what I said.
I said it is open world, and you said no.
Exactly. I'm saying it's not classified as an open world.
But it's not classified as linear, it's classified as an action adventure. It doesn't label itself as either.
Yeah, but it's still okay.
When it comes to its genre,
It is action adventure, but it is a linear action adventure.
it can't be. It is like how when you search up whether it's open world or not, it described it in categories. At least that's when I searched it up. It has linear progression, but it also has open world exploration. It has both. Whether you it doesn't negate that both of them exist. It has a linear story, it has linear progression, yes, because of how much content in the game. It also has an open world map, which at some point in the game you can go and explore.
Yes, but my point is, what makes it linear is
both a linear game and an open world.
yeah. Okay. I'll give you this. It does turn into an open world if you do not collect the riddle trophies during any point in the story. Yes, it does turn into an open world. Then that's the only thing that you could do. But, however, Arkham Asylum, what makes it more linear is the fact that every time it seems like you get a gadget, you have to, you get to, explore a building. So like when you get the grapple gun, or I'm sorry, the backclaw, you get to finally access the mansion. Okay, that unlocks that opportunity to unlock it. In fact, you have to go there because that's the next point of the story because it's linear. Yeah, you need some of the line launcher, but to access the full building, you need the sequencer, which you get at exactly. But without those, you can't search those particular areas. So, with that being said, when your story is literally like, oh, you can't explore this until you get this, but then once you get it, you explore it, and then when you go back later, and a point of the story, it's blocked off because poison ivy is blocking off plants everywhere. That's not making an open world. That's making me, oh, I can't do that because it's
Think of it this way. Yes, because a lot of locations, like in Arkham Shadows, is locked behind story progression. That's what makes it somewhat linear. The fact that things are blocked off. Correct. But it does not mean that these things automatically are unavailable till the very end of the story. When you go to the medical facility, after you've gone to the Batmobile and you've got to jail, you've done the whole segment, Scarecrow 1, and then it tells you to go to the Batcave, stopping you from going back into the building. Stopping you from going back into the building.
yeah. Oh, that's why I said I would argue Arkham Shadows is more open world because nothing does stop you in Arkham Shadow. Once you get that gadget, you can go and explore at any time the places that you have or that you have explored, that you have access.
Go to previous locations, yes. But how it is designed is for moving forward with the exploration until you've done the story. The story is what gives you these opportunities to explore further detail. Go to the mansion until you've gone to the Batcave. Go to the Batcave, oh look, I've just explored things. And then I can actually go back to that said location if I wanted to. Because it's initially blocked because of it's a linear story. Once it unlocks said location, besides the fact that there are certain story beats like Poison Ivy that purposely that is truly the only point where you're like technically not in a mission but you can't explore. It's because Poison Ivy is purposely blocking it off because she wants you to face her. That is the only point in the story where you're technically not within a mission and it's forcing you to go to said mission.
But you do realize that that might be the only point, but up until that point, you don't have all gadgets. You literally get the last gadget. When do you get the last gadget, technically? When is the last story gadget? Okay, there you go. So once you get that, you technically could get every riddle in the on the island, but you can't because ding ding ding, open world doesn't exist because of the linear story, which makes the open world more linear.
Everything to be accessible in terms of content, but in terms of being able to see every area of the map.
But you can't see it, is my point. You can't see it at any time during that story.
Once you defeat Harley Quinn and you go and leave, there's nothing stopping you to go back to that building. Explore.
Actually, if you don't have the right gadgets, you can't. Like the Ultra Backlaw. And
You can still certain trophy, but you can still go in the building and explore the building.
but you can't explore all of it though.
It doesn't mean
Because
that you can't explore.
but your point, if it's open world, that means you could explore at any time during that part. Is basically what you're saying, correct? Why did my phone do this?
Not any time, no.
All right,
The
hold on,
ability to
hold on.
explore.
Titanium just sent me something. Hold on. I gotta read this. Why does it keep kicking me out? If I had a cent for every time Crimson mentioned the word linear, I'd probably have enough for a bag of popcorn to enjoy this shit show. Here we go. Here we go. Titanium just looked it up, and here it is. It says, and I quote, which I think you can look at it yourself. It says, no, Batman Arkham Asylum is not a true open world game, which is exactly my point. While it does feature a large environment, it's more like a linear, multi-level experience with a focus on narrative progression and puzzle solving within a confined space. That is my whole point. That's basically what I've been saying.
Hold on. So,
That just clarifies my point.
according to Reddit discussions. So, according to a bunch of fans who have talked about it on Reddit, that makes it factual. Okay.
That is factual, because is that not the game? If that's not the game, then please explain. We must be playing two different games.
That is the game. What you just sent as evidence, as factual evidence.
Because it's not. It's not an open world though.
Someone else's opinion on Reddit. That is not.
Isn't that what we're doing? We're saying our own opinions.
Yes, but
Okay,
you're
then.
objectively based off of what you just said, that is not an objective fact. Because that is a summary of what someone else has said. We can, on a subjective standpoint, agree with what that guy just said, but objectively, if you're talking factually, no, because that is not of high standard of what someone else has said that has that level of authority to make that claim, like Rocksteady or WB. If someone of professional, like you said, you know, when it comes
But aren't you the same guy that said that the people do have a say-so? I mean, that's what you said with Suicide Squad.
and what did you say about that?
I said that they don't determine what's canon.
Yeah.
Exactly. But to classify as a game, you know things could be wrongly classified and put in the wrong category. I think being classified as an open world story or action adventure is wrong when it comes to Arkham Asylum.
We have the authority to decanonize things, but we have the authority to label what games is and games isn't.
When it's wrongfully categorized, yes, because we can tell by using common sense to realize, wait, this game is not an open world.
Right, so if a game is not an open world and we use logic and say, oh, this is wrongfully not meant to be canon, can't we decanonize that?
Because that's comparing apples to oranges. We can't decide what's canon because we're not in charge of the story. We're not in charge of the story. That's why we can't decide what is and what isn't canon.
What is proclaimed to be a part of the story, just like we aren't to decide what the game is labeled as.
If it's wrongfully categorized, we can make that known and we can all say, hey, listen, Arkham Asylum's not an open world. It is a linear, whatever he said.
So, us as fans, we come together and say, oh, Arkham Asylum is not open world, as we can all collectively agree that it's a much more linear experience, so let's all collectively call it linear. So
That's because it has nothing to do with canon. Because that's two different things. That is two very, very different things. Actually, I just like to point out the canon thing. Yes, fans don't have a say of what it is. But when a game is clearly wrongfully categorized the wrong way, we can all come together and be like, you guys do realize this isn't really open world. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, because it's two. You're comparing two different things, my guy.
We can say, oh, they were wrong to say Arkham Asylum's open world. But because we know better, because we've played it, and we know that in depth that it is not really an open world experience, we can come together and have a magically a sense of authority now and say that it's now a linear game because we said so. But you can't come together and say, oh, this story is trash and doesn't make sense. You can't do that because it's the story. But we can when it comes to labeling the genre of the game. It's picking and poking what degree of authority we have and we haven't.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. We are not picking and choosing what we can decide. It's called what we can decide. Because when it comes to story, we have no right to say, oh, that's not canon to the Arkhamverse. Because we are not in charge of that. But when a game... Yes, but the difference is categorizing a game can be wrong. People can say it's open world because of one little element it has, but that doesn't truly make the game open world. Because unfortunately, they don't have the right to do that because they are not in charge of the games. If a game is wrongfully categorized and classified as an open world when it clearly isn't, us as the gamers can be like, that's not open world. It's more of a... What is wrongfully canon? What is... Give me an example, and besides Suicide Squad, because technically, what that game did, you know what? I'm going to let you go ahead, answer.
What are you saying besides Suicide Squad? That's what I was referring to.
Okay, what in Suicide Squad makes no sense?
Batman.
What's wrong with Batman?
It's bad story. He gets character assassinated.
Character assassinated. Okay, a clone? That's part of that story?
No, in terms of writing, not in terms of literal
okay,
assassination.
Give me an example.
He proclaims that we see how smart he is in getting out of interruptions across the Arkham games. We see how smart he is, correct? We know how smart he is with dealing with certain threats. And we know what he's capable of, right? In Suicide Squad, so that Batman is a moron.
That's your opinion.
Well, you tell me whether he upholds the same writing as he did.
Now that we have the full story, I would argue that Batman, yes, it's bad writing in my opinion, but at the end of the day, it does show that he was smart enough to know that exactly everything according to his plan, even though it's bad writing, that it is part of his ultimate plan.
Inadvertently costed most of Metropolis to die because of his grand plan. He apparently had a contingency for everything. He said that you did well following my plan, and he is making himself accountable for everything that happened. He is making himself accountable for Metropolis to be under Brainiac's watch and taken over. He he took into account of the clones, you know, killing and.
See, you're taking that and you're acting like that every little thing was part of his plan. It's never said. It is never said that. Oh, I knew that all of Metropolis or 95% of it was going to die, or I knew that I was going to get captured and get cloned. It never is stated. They're implying the only thing that they technically implied. Hold on. The only thing they implied is that the Suicide Squad were the heroes, which was part of his plan. That's the only thing that they implied. Everything else is technically being implied by us, the fans.
Harley Quinn said on behalf of Batman that the criminals did well following his plan. What did the criminals do?
They stopped Brainiac, all 13 Brainiacs.
They stopped Brainiac, right? They defeated the Clone Justice League, and they defeated all 13 Brainiacs.
Absolutely.
So if Batman's taking accountability for the success of that mission, he should also take accountability for the failures that came with that mission as well.
That's you're interpreting that way. That is not the case. Again, you're taking that as factual when that's never been stated.
So Batman is able to take accountability for the wins but not the losses. Because we don't want to have Batman in the bad limelight.
Have you not played the other Arkham games? How many people ended up dying because of Arkham City? You're gonna tell me that he knew that was gonna happen and he's gonna take accountability for that? No, he was trying to stop that, is what he was trying to do. Okay, same premise here. Yes, Brainiac came and he had a plan to stop them, and it involved the Suicide Squad. He wasn't planning on all of Metropolis getting murdered.
As much as letting his whole team know, which costed Wonder Woman to die.
Again, how do you not know that was part of his plan? And how do you know that was?
I'm specifically picking you to take the fall for my plan because it's a much greater plan.
Again, that's what you're taking it as. You don't know that was part of his plan.
Explain to me how it's good writing that Wonder Woman.
I never said it was good writing. I'm just saying that's what you're interpreting.
Well, again, if we can say that is poor writing, then why as us? Because you're right. You know, they're the ones making the game. They're the ones making the story. They're the one that's creating this art for.
Full disclaimer: I hate Suicide Squad nowadays because of the bad writing. But a lot of people, a lot of fans of Arkham are interpreting the fact that Batman is taken accountable for every little thing of the game when that was never implied.
Let me ask you, what are you
Well, the fact that they never said that he took responsibility for Metropolis, that he never took responsibility for, what was the other thing that you said? Oh, them being cloned.
They never specified what he was taking accountability for. You're correct.
Okay,
They
then.
never specified.
The only thing that they implied is the Suicide Squad doing what they did.
That well following his plan, but you have to use interpretation of what that plan was because they didn't specify what the plan is. Because you never saw Batman giving them the plan. You never saw Batman, listing this is my plan. You have to interpret it because they didn't explain it. You have to interpret what he is taking accountability for. Now, you subconsciously took accountability for the Batman said that you did well for my plan, referring to the Suicide Squad defeating all Brainiacs. That's what you depict that as. But the other fact that he states that is he didn't say, oh, you did well defeating the Brainiacs for me by following my plan. He didn't say that.
Did he not say that the criminals did exactly what I thought they would do? Is that not what he said?
He said the criminals did well following this plan.
Okay. So if he's saying that the criminals did well following his plan, That means whatever the Suicide Squad was doing, so hence the game, was part of Batman's ultimate plan of having the Suicide Squad be the heroes.
What we did in the game, the wins, the losses, Batman is taking accountability.
No, because once again, the criminals didn't go shooting random civilians. So you can't say that Batman is at fault for Metropolis's 95% civilians being killed. He can't take accountability for that, and you can't interpret it that way because that's never stated. All he was stating was that the criminals did well following his plan.
The Justice League collectively went on board his ship, and they all got captured.
Because of Superman. Because of Superman. Confirmed by the interview tapes.
Well, that's interpretation.
Did you not listen to the tapes? Did you not hear what Superman said?
He said it's all going on the ship, but you don't know that Batman collectively agreed. He was reluctant. He was like, oh, you know.
I never said he did agree.
Well, you say your thoughts on Superman.
Because he oh my gosh, dude! Please tell me you listened to the interview tape. How many medias has Batman had a bad idea about something but still went through with it?
Batman media's.
Yeah. No. I'm not just Arkham. How many times?
As justification for discontinuity.
No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm making a point here. How many times has anybody had a bad idea about something but still went through with the plan, even though they had a bad idea about it? Okay, plenty of people. Okay, why can't that same assumption be applied here?
Established not proven to have flaws within his plan.
Okay, so if he didn't have any flaws, then how come are you saying that he had flaws in this plan, even though you're putting more into his plan than what was stated?
Because it's poorly explained.
Yes, it's poorly explained. You know, they were very, very vague on it, but you're interpreting it as everything was part of his plan when that's not the case. And that's backed up because of what was said. Ooh, we got one done. There we go.
I think it was like 90 to 95. Was it like 90? Amanda Waller said it at the beginning of the game. Like 98, 99% of Metropolis got wiped out. The Justice League collectively are to be held accountable for that. Because they are meant to protect them. And they failed. And also, is that Batman left some sort of contingency that we didn't see for the Suicide Squad to pick up on and destroy the Brainiacs that he knew that there was other Brainiacs, and the Suicide that he knew that Waller would get, a bunch of criminals to fight his battle.
His battle, the one that he got captured from because of Superman.
Yeah. Collectively, the Justice League failed Metropolis. They are
Because of Superman. Confirmed by the interview tapes.
No, that is because Superman in faith wanted to go board the ship, which Green Lantern collectively, nothing is forcing Batman to board that ship. All, at one point or another, would have had to have collectively agreed to go together.
Okay, so...
It wasn't just Superman, Green Lantern was in agreement as well.
Here you go.
They all collectively, it's still their choice at the end of the day. Whether or not, Superman gave the idea, they all chose. They made a choice to go on that ship. They chose to do that. Nothing is, Batman is not like being tugged by the cape and like, no, I don't want to go, please. He chose to walk to board that ship. They all did. They all boarded that ship and got captured. They chose chose to do that, and that because of that decision, everyone they got clones. Besides, they all got clones, and because of that, the group and the clone Justice League is able to wipe out 99% of Metropolis.
Wrong.
Batman is to blame because the whole team's to blame. Because they are the heroes they need to save the day.
That makes no sense.
That is what the so because they're meant to protect people, that is who they are.
Whose city is Metropolis protection under?
Super.
Okay then. So that means it is Superman's fault. It's just like Gotham would have been Batman's fault, correct?
It's the whole world.
What do you mean it's the whole world?
You saw the Elseworlds where other worlds got wiped out because of the other Justice League's failures. Yes, the main game took place in Metropolis. It just, because the Metropolis, that makes it Superman's fault. The Suicide Squad not shown up, that he would have taken over everywhere else. Like you see in the Elseworlds, he went to Gotham and that Batman failed.
Yeah, that Batman, but Arkham Batman did not fail.
Justice League are collectively meant to protect the world, and it was their base that was in Metropolis, their base of operations. They were meant to protect, everyone in the world. Just because that's, Metropolis is where Superman primarily hangs out, that doesn't just make it his responsibility.
It is his responsibility. He's always protected Metropolis. Who else is going to be blamed? But no! That is Superman's place. His protection was there. He failed. The reason why he failed the Justice League is because it was his stupid idea to go up there and I don't even know what the hell he was trying to play. How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know none of them were dragged there? Hey, I'm just saying, if Superman pulled him, I mean... I'm not saying that they did do that. I'm asking how do you know that they didn't do that? Okay, then, there you go. That's my whole point to your whole thing. You just said you didn't know. Okay, so are you saying you do know that they did just wall walk in there?
You're blaming Superman for interpretation as well, based off of the information.
Absolutely I am, because of information of the game. Exactly. I'm using information while you guys are taking what they gave you and running with it. There's more evidence towards my points versus your points. I'm using factual evidence using the media that's in the game. Whose idea was it? Oh, I'm with Cal. So it's confirming that it was Superman's idea and he was all for it. I'm not saying that he's not totally innocent. I'm saying it is majority on Superman's.
They all got captured. They are all to blame because they all got captured.
Yeah, because they stupidly walked in there and got captured.
They all did. They all got captured stupidly. I also agree that yes, it was off of the influence of Superman's idea of see, because he thought, oh, he's an alien, I'm an alien, let's all be friends. Batman, yes, in that moment, that was Batman. He was like, I don't think it's a good idea. This is a trap. But he still, one way or another, captured. Because he went together as a team. He said, the five of us united, there is nothing we can't do. So they all collectively went on the ship and got captured.
All right. Okay, so what's this got to do with us deciding what's canon versus what isn't, and also what a game category is when it's wrongfully categorized?
Because I'm pointing out that the inconsistency of just because it's the story that is enough to say that you can't have that level of authority when it comes to the story.
So what you're saying is because we're big fans, we have every right to say, oh, Suicide Squad's not canon because of how I interpreted the ending. Versus, no, you didn't create the art. You're playing the art. Anyway,
We didn't create the art as to how we received it.
you have a right to feel how you feel, but you don't have the right to say, oh, this ain't canon, because sadly it is canon. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, I mean, okay, when I say there's nothing you can't do about it, yeah, sure. You could be like, oh, hey, don't go buy the game because it's pretty stupid and it's not really, like, it doesn't show Batman's character the greatest. You could say that. You could feel that all you want. However, when you say that, and when you tell people that, and when you're trying to get people to not buy it, to show WB and Rocksteady, hey, we don't like this game, decanonize it, that still doesn't, that's not going to necessarily do what you want them to do. They get to decide if they want to decanonize it or not.
That's the same that goes for the label.
No, that isn't. That's too different, because when you play a game, you can tell right off the bat what it. Well, it's not making sense because you're not letting me finish. Like, bro, when a game is categorized, okay, 99% of the time they get it right. When you play a game, I would probably say after the first 10 minutes, you can get a feel of what the game is, what it should be categorized as. Okay?
Yes.
So, that other 1%, when you can tell that a game is wrongfully categorized, you can say, hey, this is wrong because of this, this, and this. And so in this instance, Arkham Asylum is not an open world game because, number one, it is a linear story that limits you in a condensed space, pretty much the whole story, that then makes it linear because you cannot fully explore your open world, quote unquote, at this time because of these reasons, because we're not allowed to because of your story. And that's not justification, that's factual evidence. What contradictions are there besides Batman being not as smart? Because I would argue that he was as smart as he always has been. Okay, do you know their reasonings behind it? Did you not hear the other? There's another reason that they went with. Well, technically, the black one was from another Earth. I heard, and this is what they went with. Well, I heard it was the black one that came from a different Earth, killed the white one, and then literally. I didn't listen to his interview tapes. I only listened to the Justice League one. Okay, so if that's the case, then technically, in technical terms, they're both Deadshot, and it's not a retcon. It's just that I know what the real reason why they did that. Actually, I can name a couple reasons why they did that. But I'm not going to get into political stuff. Yes, it was poorly, but it at least had an explanation that technically made sense. It may not be the best explanation in your opinion, and don't get me wrong, I'm not defending this. In fact, I'm in agreement. I don't like that they did it that way. I think they could have came up with something a lot better. However, it's still a logical, technical way of explaining it.
Also, has no.
Okay. I'm gonna use something. I know where you're going with this, and I'm gonna use the same thing that you used with me against John Cena, because I said that John Cena literally mistreated Nikki Bella, and then after years of being with her without proposing, he finally did it, and then they called it off because they didn't get along, and then right after he met someone else, instantly got engaged, and I thought that was very scummy, and especially what he did to Nikki Bella. And you said, oh, people can't change? I'm going to use the same instance here. You telling me that after years of, doing whatever she was doing in Arkham Asylum, that people can't change? For better or for worse? Okay. So you're going to tell me 9 months after Joker's death, and in the events of Arkham Knight, she was still a Joker's girl. You're going to tell me 5 years in between those two times, so from the beginning of Suicide Squad and during the events of Arkham Knight, you're going to tell me that's not possible for Harley Quinn to change how she feels and realize, hey, Joker's really gone. I'm just holding on to like a dead horse, literally, and I'm obsessed with a dead man. Instead, I should probably start doing this.
They don't express that or explain the change of hearts. There's no development.
Okay, you are right on that. However, are you going to sit there and say that it's technically not possible? Oh, okay then. Okay, so you agree that it's possible. Okay. Yes, we are using interpretation right there. Yes.
Continuation of the franchise is proclaimed to be a part of to establish what came before.
I would argue that Suicide Squad did that. It did that with the museum mission.
It also proclaims that,
I mean, I could argue that that scene in Arkham Asylum when she lets her out of the cell, maybe they have had good relationships, and it's not what you totally mean. Again, that's interpreting. You are absolutely right. But again, if you want it to make sense, you'll make it make sense. When he taught her about the fear toxin? Is that what you're talking about? Oh. You're interpreting that. You're interpreting that because that's never stated that she did or she didn't. Yes, she got captured, and you also got to realize that was during a point on Harley. I'm not saying that she did defend her. I'm not saying that she went against her. What I'm saying is she was in the mindset of still killing Batman because of what happened to Joker. She still blamed him for Joker.
There's nothing to insinuate, even though if we can say that they were rivals, there's nothing to insinuate
Again, that the reasons behind that are political, but again, I'm not going to get into that. Exactly. It comes down to poor writing, and that's why it's a shitty game. But that doesn't mean that we, as the players, could say, well, this game's a shitty game, and because it's a shitty game, it's not canon. You can't say that.
Standards that we know that they can make a great. You've seen them make franchise make great story games that make sense. That make sense. Can't we say this is shit? Do this.
No, I'm not saying. Okay, hold on. I'm not saying that we can't say this is shit. Because, once again, anybody and everybody is up to feel how they feel.
Yeah, but we're going a step further and rejecting that and doing them a favour, to be honest, and rejecting we know that they can do better. We know that they've made a masterpiece of a franchise.
Yes.
We know they can do better.
Yes, we know that they could do better. Because I mean, okay, technically you can. Cloud, if you really wanted to, you could be like, hey, Crimson, you know what? In my head, I'm not going to say Suicide Squad's canon. You have every right to do that. However, you cannot confirm that it isn't canon because of the way you feel, because you don't have the right to do that because you didn't make the franchise. You're only playing it. I have the right to say Suicide Squad's not canon, but that doesn't mean it's true. But here's the thing. At that point, that's your opinion, and in this case, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're not stating the truth. You can't say Suicide Squad's not canon because it is canon, and that's the truth. And again, they have the right to do that, but they can't say that it isn't canon. I mean, once again, you have the right to do that, but it's not true. But again, that's it. Unfortunately, that's the truth. That they can canalize it, and that's what they did. You can't. There's nothing you can do. I mean, you could state your opinion, but let's be honest now. Are they ever going to listen to us? Probably not. I'll be very surprised if they finally come out and say Suicide Squad is no longer canon.
Installments to the franchise and just don't have Suicide Squad. That's their way of just not speaking about it at all.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, unless they come out and say it's not going to be clear, because even if they don't acknowledge it, that doesn't mean that it's not canon still.
It's like this.
That would be a retcon, and at that point, that would be them saying, I'm assuming that's... Yes, that's in... Yes, that is. But at the same time...
Suicide Squad canonized the Assault on Arkham film is it completely wrecked. It doesn't make sense for both of them to coexist, right? So, this installment on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League canonized the Assault on Arkham film. The same would be applied to, yes, on an objective standpoint, actually, for it to be the the same time as the game, but the events were different, that would be blatant retconning the game. Or if events took place afterwards of characters that have appeared later on, or earlier on, that also retcon. I agree with you that that's their opinion.
Yeah.
That's their opinion.
Though that's a fact. It's their opinion.
I uphold that when people hate canon, they have the entitlement to do so. So, like you said, we can't change what the art is, but we can change how we view the art overall, right? So we could look at Arkham, and if you wanted to, not saying you would, obviously you think that there's certain inconsistencies in. You can turn around and say, Clouch, because of these inconsistencies, I don't think Origins is canon.
Yeah, but I don't do that because I have no right to. I say what I hear.
You do have a right to. I don't think it's canon. Because, like I said, as from a
Yeah, but I even know that a lot of Arkham Origins is canon. I do think some of it isn't canon because of evidence that later games retcon, or I should say that game retcons in later games.
A lot of the reason why Origins remains canon is because, for the most part, it does make sense.
Yes, for the most part, it does.
That's why people view it as canon. That's why people decanonize certain things, like the critical boots, right? Because that doesn't make sense. So they decanonize. People, Arkham fans headcanoned the fact that canonically Batman had the grapple accelerator, because it doesn't make sense for him to have it, because Batman had it in prototype stage a decade later. So it doesn't make sense for it to exist in Origins. So, which obviously you know, right? So we headcanon that from existing. Because you also said that they only put that in there for it to, gameplay-wise, be more enjoyable. They didn't even did it for the sake of canon, they did it for the sake of gameplay. So, because of that, we as fans, despite that it's in the game, we headcanon it. We headcanon its existence because it doesn't make sense. Like how Suicide Squad, you might think certain things make sense, certain things not, but collectively, not to speak for all Arkham fans, but majority hate the game, so most collectively say that most of the game doesn't make sense, so they headcanon the whole thing. Because in their opinion, they don't think it makes sense. So they just think because it's poorly written, they don't want it, they don't view it as part of the Arkhamverse that they know. Because it doesn't. I don't think that the graphical thing is.
He's cutting out badly. You're cutting out very badly. There you go again. That's what you sound like. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that, Camo. Anyway, y'all, not to cut this short, but I went way longer than I wanted to. I only wanted to do like an hour and a half, and here we are 3.5 hours in. So I got to go on to TikTok, do at least an hour stream, and then I'll be back for Fortnite. So anyway, have a good day, everybody. Stay safe. God bless. And I will talk to you all in the next one. And Cloud, Arkham Asylum is linear.